can't underestimate that we've done this with 6 games to go. It's not even Easter yet, and we are promoted. And this is all credit to the players and to Chris Davis and the support staff for what they've done. They've created a team a squad of players, not just a team, a squad of players that are committed, play as a team, play good football, and they've got us through a league that had the potential to be very, very tricky.
So welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue. And on Tuesday evening, Birmingham City confirmed their place back in the Championship with a fantastic 2-1 win away at Peterborough United. Now, I'm not going to lie, we didn't get in until 1:30 in the morning. My boys got me up at 5 o'clock this morning, so I'm still half asleep, but it's been such an exciting day. I'm just reliving Tuesday night over and over in my head, and I can't believe we're now a Championship side. So, Dad, Peterborough United 1, Birmingham City 2. What were your thoughts?
Oh, it was brilliant, wasn't it? And what a turnaround from how we were feeling this time last year. As you said, we got home really at 1:30, and I was up at 5 o'clock for work. But I haven't felt tired all day. I'm starting to feel tired now. But I've just been thinking about it. I don't think I got an awful lot of work done today. I've just been going over and over in my mind all the... what a moment, we as Blues fans, we don't get many moments like that. We've had a lot of heartache over the years, as Blues fans will no doubt be aware. But to have moments like that where the fans, just so deserved that success. And the players and the managers and everybody bought into it. And it was just so good.
There's a couple of memories for me, Dad. I think about Ipswich in the Cup. I think about Liverpool Worthington Cup final, Norwich playoff final, Wembley against Arsenal. But that last night was up there with that kind of level. We'll be talking about this for years to come. It was an electric atmosphere.
Fantastic.
The celebrations at the end were fantastic. We got it over the line, and it was bouncing, weren't it? For 90 minutes, Dad. I don't think I've seen an away end that noisy. It was absolutely
what was
unreal.
great about the away end was that we had 4,000 of us there, and fair play to Barry Fry and for Peterborough for allowing us to have those extra tickets. They gave us 1,600 or 1,700 tickets really late on, but it gave us the side stand as well, part of the side stand. Plus, we were behind the goal. Oh, who could have actually, I don't know if anybody's seen any of the other podcasters. We were all together. Yeah. It was really nice meeting Tommy and Jack and their dad. I can't remember the dad's name, but maybe next time I see me, just remind me from Blues Focus. They were literally right behind us. Yeah. The boy in blue was right next to us, wasn't he? Jay, the boy in blue, and Michael, isn't it? Was with him? Is it Michael?
Yeah, Woody. I call him Woody.
And his missus as well.
And also we had Will Brazier on the row in front, and we had Reese from Block 39 4 rows down just to the right. Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to say hello to some people, but
it was really nice as well. Just before the start of the game, a shout out to Tommy as well. He's Tommy Tucker. He comments on all of our podcasts, but he's actually over from Florida.
Yeah.
And he came and said, "It's really nice meeting you, Tommy." And he's over here for that game. He's going to Wembley, and I think he said he'll be there at Easter Monday. So he came over for the perfect games to watch Blues get promotion, to be in a cup final, and potentially to win the league.
Yeah. I mean, as he's over from Florida, Dad, and he's done that much Die Hard. If you see us at Wembley, Tommy, we'll buy you a beer.
Of course we will. Yeah,
I think that is fully deserved for that level of commitment to be Florida Blues and then going to Wembley and going back. Fantastic.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean the whole thing, like you said, it was really special, wasn't it? It really was special for us, and we have done it. I stumbled across our podcast a few days ago when we did the relegation one. When we got we got relegated against Norwich, and I just started watching a bit of it. In the end, I ended up watching the whole lot to remind myself how we were feeling at that time, and it's really sort of was a really. It wasn't negative. It was just a realistic video about how we felt at the time. And then I fast forward to last night, and it's a complete 360-degree turn in terms of the whole club, the atmosphere, the fans, the direction we're going. He's all perfect now at the moment. He's going the right way, isn't it?
It's like when your adrenaline's in your system, it can have a detrimental effect or it can have quite a positive effect depending on where you are and what you're doing. And I remember leaving St.Andrews after Norwich, and the adrenaline in me was stress, and I was genuinely anxious. I didn't want to be a League One team. We got relegated. just that walk back from the Tilton to the car, knowing that you were a League One team last season was horrible. But last night my adrenaline was kicking in and I was buzzing and it was exciting and I didn't want the night to end. So to be on that side of the spectrum now and being a Birmingham City fan with the trajectory being that way, what a feeling, what a time to be a Birmingham City supporter, Dad. And we are a Championship
We're
club next season.
back in the Championship. It's like you have to sort of like pinch yourself to realise because of what we've been through this season, and obviously the grounds that we've been to, the way that teams set up against us, it is a very different league, different type of atmosphere. And I think a lot of Blues fans would agree that part of it they've enjoyed it in terms of the different experiences and everything. But
I have.
but I have as well. But I'm pretty sure that most Blues fans will be glad to get back to playing teams that will actually potentially have a go at us.
I'll tell you what I have enjoyed, Dad, seeing new stadiums, meeting new fans, and, the whole League One experience, it's had its ups and downs, hasn't it? Having beer at Lincoln with you, Dad, and the Wickham away end, and last night at Peterborough, amazing memories that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. But what I haven't missed is going down St.Andrews and just 11 men being parked in their own half. So what I won't miss about League One, and I'm just being brutally honest, is that parking the bus, sitting back, the low block. It has been so frustrating. But just swinging it, I guess, back into the game. Fair play to Peterborough. They're not a team like that. They actually try and have a go, and they are good going forward. And I think we'll talk about the game in a minute, Dad, but I think we've got a game in our hand on Sunday for Wembley.
I think so as well. Yeah, we will come on to the game in a minute, but again, I just want to just very quickly just talk about the celebrations after the game. And did you see that video that the Blues put on YouTube?
I've seen them all about 50 times today, Dad. I've been
the behind the scenes one, and you see the interviews with Bielek. And Alfie May and with Chris Davis as well, and they really are, they really care. Bielik was talking about how he wants to be part of this, what's going forward. Alfie's the same. He can't believe that we've done it in terms of he's going to be a Championship player, and he's really looking forward to that. And it just really brought home, how much the players have really worked so hard because they really care about the club, and they're such a team as well, aren't they?
They are.
They're such a team. And you see the Ethan's dance in the the Blues are going up.
I weirdly saw that 5 minutes before we came into here. I was watching it. I love Ethan, lad.
And he put one of those promotion banners like a cape. He was running around like Superman, wasn't he? I don't know what he was doing actually, but it was brilliant, and everybody got a acknowledgement from the crowd. It was absolutely fabulous. Players deserve it. They worked really hard. But don't forget, Matt, the season's not over yet.
It's not over.
We've got chance now to obviously confirm ourselves as champions of this league. We've got a cup to play for, and there's records to go for. And I think if we were to, I think we will sooner rather than later confirm ourselves as champions. The motivation then for Chris Davis for the rest of the games is let's beat these records.
Points record, yeah.
Because we don't want the season to fizzle out, do we? And
also, a points record has the potential to last for a very, very long time. I can't see another League One team in the same position because we didn't. I was about to say we didn't deserve to go down. We did deserve to go down with all the turbulence that happened last year. I'm not going to deny that, but not many teams have gone down in the position that Blues have gone down with. The owners, the money, the investment. So I personally don't think we'll see another League One team at this level for quite some time. So if we can get the points record this season, and by the way, promotion's always been the key. I'm not saying now I'm doing a U-turn on it. I'm just making a point. If we do break the points record, that's a legacy that will last for a substantial amount of time. So I think Chris Davies, imagine that first season as a manager, Dad, and he breaks the point record in League One. And,
well, to be honest, Matt, as well, obviously there's lots of reaction on social media from Blues fans and from fans from other clubs as well, and there's a very mixed reaction, as you would expect. And we don't give a monkeys. We don't. We're promoted. We're back in the Championship. If we bought the league, we've bought the league. Who cares? We're back in the Championship. But there's a lot of negative stuff over there for the Blues, and that's for their fans to deal with it. I call it a lot of it's jealousy because if it was their club, they would be over the moon with it.
There are some very rational fans out that actually say, I'm really jealous of the trajectory that Birmingham are on because they have good owners, they're in the right direction, they're investing money in the right places, they're making good decisions. So when people say, the nasty comments, it's basically a nasty version of that, of the jealousy, isn't it? But some fans are actually very nice and very complimentary. There's been some really nice stuff on X I've seen over the last 24 hours where people have been very complimentary.
People have, but you still got those fans that you've bought the league and what you expect if you spend 90 million or whatever it is or whatever they say it is now. But what they don't realise when they say these type of things is that money does not buy success, because you look at teams like Chelsea and Manchester United who spent mega millions, and what have they won?
United, the crap.
Yeah. And also as well, but you can't bring in 17 new players like we've we've done, which is a whole new squad, not just a team, it's a squad, and then do what Chris Davis, and it's not just Chris Davis, it's the background staff and everybody else at the club that have done this as well. They've actually coached those players to a new style of play, a new system, possession-based football, and they've done it in a short period of time because we thought we might be a bit sluggish from the start because we need a bit of time. We've literally been sort of right hot right from the very beginning.
And that's my key takeaway from last night, Dad, this season, is Chris Davis has came in and done a fantastic job. New players, new team. It's the mentality we now have. We don't know when we're beaten. We can grind results out. We've got that winning mentality. We're scoring goals. And, the mentality that Chris Davis has instilled in these players and the staff and the club is just phenomenal. And I think Wagner deserves a lot of credit, for the investment. The board,
absolutely.
Knighthead deserve a lot of credit. Chris Davis deserves a lot of credit. And the players ultimately deserve a lot of credit as well. I mean, if you look at it like on a tier system of hierarchy, let's say, Wagner, Chris Davis, players or whatever, however you want to look at that, everyone has done a sensational job this season. It's been fantastic.
It's been brilliant. Obviously, we've got 2 more home games to go. Those tickets are literally going to be like hotcakes. They'll be gone in no time, those tickets as well. So we're going to have 2 further complete sellouts. But the difference will be we've already been promoted. We're going, possibly we could be champions by then. It depends upon Wrexham's result on the weekend. But the atmosphere and the celebration, and imagine we've been the Virtue Trophy back as well.
It's
going to be absolutely amazing. So, if you haven't got tickets, I know the Blues for the Mansfield game today have announced a priority system for people to buy tickets for the Mansfield game.
Right.
So they're trying to give people who have been to a certain amount of home games that are not season ticket holders the chance to get tickets. But have a look at the Blues app or the website, and it'll give you the details.
I mean, that just shows the demand, doesn't it?
They're
doing a tier system.
Yeah, well, we all want to be part of it, don't we? It's just I'm still excited. I am. I feel like part of me feels like I just want to collapse and go to sleep. And tonight, I don't know if I go to sleep. I don't think I'll wake up for a couple of days. But
I think if I use the adrenaline analogy again, Dad, like I've been at 100 for the whole day. I've been buzzing. I'm on about 5 now, and I think it's draining. And I think I need to go to bed. But
we'll get this done, and then we'll get you to sleep as well. I just want we'll go on to the game, and we'll do the game briefly because it's not the insignificant part of this because it's what brought us to where we are, so we have to talk about it. But Barry Fry, it was his 80th birthday a few days ago. He came out on the pitch, and what a perfect timing for him. His 80th birthday. He's loved by both clubs. He came out, didn't he, just before the players came out, and we acknowledged him, and I think he loved it.
And also that he stayed at the end in the directors' board and clapped all the celebrations.
Did he?
He's a proper Blue nose, isn't he?
He
loves the Blues, Barry Fry.
Yeah, he is, and it was nice to acknowledge him like that because he'll always be a legend at Blues, Barry Fry. And congratulations, Barry, if you ever watch this on your 80th birthday. Should we go very briefly onto the game because one thing that surprised us both, and I know talking to a lot of Blues fans at the game, was the team selection.
6 changes.
We really did not expect that, and we felt that Chris Davis might make a couple of changes, but he would want to play a really strong team. And effectively, you could say our squad is a strong. Whatever you pick from there is going to be a strong team anyway. But
6 was more than I thought, though. I think if you look at the pre-video, Dad, we may have factored in 2 or 3. Maybe I think it was 2 for me, maybe 3.
I think I had 1.
Yeah, but we didn't factor in many. But 6, that's half the team.
It came out. So just to remind people of the changes, in came Alphonse Samstead, Christian Bielek came back, Mark Leonard came into the starting lineup, as did Luke Harris. Taylor Gardner Hickman came from nowhere. We thought he was still injured, didn't we? And Alfie May, and they an out or onto the bench. Well, on the bench went Laird. Ben Davis was rested completely. He wasn't even in the squad. Pake, Dowell, Anderson, and Stansford all on the bench. Our bench was absolutely frightening.
Crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely frightening. So there were sort of big changes compared to the team that started against Barnsley. So I think that tells us that Chris Davis is clearly taking the final seriously as well.
Yeah, and
so good call in the end, wasn't it?
It was, and for me, Dad, a huge kudos and appreciation for Bielek last night because he had the captain's armband on. So technically, we got promoted under his captaincy in terms of with the armband. He started with the captaincy, of course, as the season's gone on. Hasn't quite been able to get into the team, but it looked like he had never missed a game. His passing was fantastic. He was physical. He was, he commanded that back line. I thought he had a fantastic game, and really good to see him back. And the fact that he just took it in his stride.
Yeah.
And after the game, Daddy mentioned about him wanting to be on the journey and looking like he's, he looks committed to the project and the team. So that was fantastic. I thought Stamsted as well, Dad, coming in. I thought he did a great job at right back. He's turning out to be some player. Stamsted. I really rate him.
He did well, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Taylor Gardner Hickman as well. I mean, considering he's not played a competitive first team game for a number of weeks, he's like he's not been out.
I mean, we'll get into the specifics of the chance later, but Luke Harris, Dad, I mean, apart from that chance he did miss where he should have left it for Keshi, I thought he had a good game, good energy levels. He was a nuisance. He was chasing well, closing down well, and his energy was good. And I think over the season, Dad, he's come on leaps and bounds. Actually, Luke Harris.
I think we've done that all season in terms of our the way we close teams down is absolutely phenomenal. And with a team like Peterborough.
Yeah,
that is how you will beat teams like this, and that's what we're going to have to do at Wembley as well, because they've got pace, and that's where their strength is on the wings, and actually through the middle as well. Up their front line is absolutely fantastic for this league.
It is good, yeah.
And the way you deal with that is you close them down, you don't give them space. And we did that very, very well again yesterday, and I think that's what really helped us a lot, because if you give some of their players a little bit of space, they can hurt you.
Yeah, and you said this, you might have said this in the preview, Dave, maybe correct me here, but you said that Peterborough might be up there with, and this is a compliment in some regards, being the biggest underachieving League One side this season. After watching them last night, I would agree. How are they in that position?
Injuries. The answer is injuries.
Injuries and the back, because they do look dodgy at the back, and their goalkeeper was poor last night. But going forward, they are really good. They're fast, they're dangerous. Poku is the standout star from them, isn't he? We knew he was going to cause us problems. I mean, it looks like the ball's glued to his foot, doesn't he? Even when he's doing his trickery and his skills. Yeah. He's a good player. Eye on him for Blues next season, hopefully. Who knows where that's going to go? But I rate Peterborough.
Would you take Poku if
100%? Even in the Championship, I think Poku's a great player, and I think he's exactly who we're missing. Flair, creativity. Yeah. Every time he took Cochrane on, it looked like he was going to get past him. I'm not saying Cochrane had a bad game, by the way. I'm just saying Poku is a dangerous player. Yeah. And I would take him in the Championship.
I mean, I don't know much about Poku. I haven't done any research on him, but he's 23. He used to play for. I thought he came through the Peterborough Academy, but he didn't. Right. He actually came from. They bought him from Colchester. Before that, he was at a non-league club. Okay. But even though, and he'll be a free transfer at the end of the season in terms of a fee. But because of his age, I believe there'll be some form of compensation payment that will need to be. So it's not completely free, but it's going to be. It's not going to be millions and millions. Anyway, and that's assuming that we are interested. I know that we're interested in one player. What I was reading today is that
it's got to be Poku.
It's got to be Poku, but I mean, I don't know.
You like Ricky J Jones.
I like Ricky J Jones as well, and I like Mothersill, and I like is it Adoa? Yeah,
I'm saying Adoa from what you said in the pre-Dad, but I don't know what he's pronounced.
Well, he knows who he is.
Yeah. But again, good players, Dad, and I think it started off quite. In fact, it didn't just start off. I thought it was quite an entertaining game of football. I thought it was a good game of football to watch. It was quite entertaining. I thought at the start of the game, it was quite end-to-end. We had a couple of chances. They had a couple of chances. It was looking like it was shaping up to be a really good game. And I think we grew into the first half a bit better. I think we started to get a bit more control as it went on. But there's absolutely no doubt they are a dangerous team going forward. But what I would say, Dad, is we looked very good down our left, their right. Taylor Gardner Hickman was causing them all sorts of problems.
That's where we heard them. And some of the balls that Allsop was pinging, and wasn't just Allsop. Bielek as well. Yeah,
Bielek's distribution was outstanding.
I think that was the obviously part of the game plan was to do that type of thing. But we had an early chance as well. Alfie went through with a straight back pass.
I thought he was going to score.
Alfie went through, and he looked like he was going to score, but he hit the goalkeeper's legs and then pinged up. And then I think he was just at the wrong. He was just too high for Willem, and he knocked it over the bar. That was really early on, wasn't it? As well. Like you said, a team like Peterborough with those type of players are going to have chances, and they had a number of chances. Adoa, he's a good player. He's on their left, isn't he?
He's their left, yeah.
He's a pacey player.
It's Adoa, Mothersill, Poku feeding into Ricky J Jones.
Caused us a few problems, did it as well? Bielek as well. He had a good chance as well, where it was a bit of not ping pong in the area, and the ball fell to him. He was on the edge of the area, and he hit it. He put his foot right through it. It didn't go over far, but it went over.
Powerful though, he went for power over placement. But
so that was, and then we got our first goal, which again, was Alfie May header, but again, across from Taylor Gardner Hickman.
Fantastic. I think that takes the highlight for me, that ball, because it was lofted.
Yeah.
So it went between the defenders. And fair play to Alfie May. What's going on? Why is he scoring with his head?
Okay,
He's tiny. Well, he's not tiny, but he's a small player.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't associate like lots of headed goals with Alfie because of his height, and he normally is up against like fairly big centre halves, so the chances of that is quite limited. But that's his second goal in 2 games from a header.
Yeah. And you said that in the pre-video, Peterborough are prone to losing their aerial battles. If you lose to Alfie May, that adds to that stat, doesn't it? You shouldn't be losing in the air to Alfie May. But take nothing away from the ball, nothing away from Blues, nothing away from May. I thought that was a fantastic goal.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It was really good, yeah. And again, where we were with the angle, Dad, it almost felt like our goals were in a little bit of slow motion, weren't it? Just because of the angle we were on the pitch.
I think that was a little not deceptive.
In the stand, not on the pitch.
With the header, I think it just hit the top or the underside of the bar and then went in, did it? So we obviously it was a really, really good goal. But again, a great cross from Taylor Gardner Hickman. I think with that, like you said, that was where they were vulnerable down their right, our left, and
I think their keeper, Dad, would have wished he did better for both of our goals. And again, I'm not taking nothing away from Blues here. I think we did well. We got the balls in the box. We shot on sight. We did everything right. I think as a keeper, if you look back at our goals, I think you'd be quite disappointed. In honest.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
They scored soon after, so that's all. It didn't deflect. Well, what I liked about the Blues fans is that we were 1-0 up. We were singing we're going to win the league, and and all this, and then they scored. But then the Blues fans straight away just carried on singing. Just keep right
keep
on.
Straight away.
That's what good fans do, isn't it? You get behind your team. Again, it was a bit of a disappointing goal from our perspective because it was from a corner, and then it was almost like a stray ball that sort of went to Poku, and you knew he was obviously waiting for that.
Yeah.
He was in that position, but what disappointed me was that he had lots of players in front of him. I think it was the pace that caught out everybody, and it was you can't argue. It was a good finish, a very, very good.
It shouldn't go through 4 bodies of Blues players. Though,
and I think also because we were right behind the goal, I think Allsop was slightly unsighted because there were so many bodies in, and the pace that he came at. I don't think Allsop. It was just only takes a split second to not react, and that's what happened. But I literally don't think he saw. Because of the players in front of him.
And again, Dad, I'm not going to overanalyze this or over-exaggerate the point. We won, we're promoted. But again, the Achilles heel this season, corners, set pieces, they've done it again. Yeah. We seem to be really vulnerable to balls in the box. I don't know what it is. And in fact, in the second half, even when we were 2-1 up, every time they had a long throw-in or a set piece, we'll come on to the long throw-ins in a minute because that makes no sense for a team like Peterborough. They're all like 4'3". But apart from that big centre-half, he was massive. But yeah, they're quite a small team, but they do long throws. Anyway, again, another set piece that we conceded, and I think you've mentioned it before. That attacking and defending, we could do with the set piece, Coach.
Yeah,
I really believe that.
I think we had this conversation with the chaps from Blues Focus at half time, and I think that's something that we do. We've got to improve. I mean, particularly in the Championship, we need to be better. We need to be more productive from set pieces. I think we have good ideas, but the output is not always great. So I think that would be a good idea. Maybe that's something the Blues will look at.
And we have scored from a few corners this year, but if you look at the stats behind how many corners we get, it's still classed as poor. And in fact, didn't you say in a video recently that we're like in the bottom bit of the table for converting set pieces?
I've read a stat. I think we're in the bottom 5 in the division for goals from set pieces. Yeah.
Anyway.
And then we got our second goal. Now there was some good build-up play from Williamson, May, and Leonard, and eventually the ball fell to Taylor Gardner Hickman again on that left-hand side there, right. And he just put power through the body. Actually, the goalkeeper did touch it, but it went under him, didn't it? And that made it 2-1.
I wonder. I mean, I guess Peterborough fans, if they're watching it, that can't be their first team keeper. I don't think he must have been. Again, I don't know enough about Peterborough to know, but he looked like a second string keeper to me.
Well, from my understanding is that Darren Ferguson picked his first choice front line, but the changes were made, I believe, at the back or in midfield. Again, Peterborough fans, just let us know because obviously we're not overly familiar with your best starting 11. So I know that you did make changes because we. No,
they did at the back as well.
Yeah.
You are right, Dad. It was at the back, but we don't know the team well enough to know who was in and who was out. But you're right. A lot of their changes at the back, which is surprising because they've been leaking goals at the back.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I would focus on solidarity at the back, and then I don't know. Anyway, I'm not Darren Ferguson. I'm not a professional football manager.
It's both. That's their problem. They're the second worst team in the whole of League One for conceding goals, but they're right up there with goals scored, and that tells you the problem.
I think the second half, our chances kind of fizzled out a little bit. We didn't create much, but in the first half, you could see their vulnerabilities, couldn't you? And again, when we grew into the first half, we were picking. we were going through on goal a few times. We were picking holes and gaps. You could see their defence was kind of being spread open a little bit, but they did get a little bit more compact in the second half. But I think we did grow into the first half as it went on, and I think we controlled it. I think we controlled parts of the games really well. We held on to possession. We passed it around well. But, fair play to Peterborough. They did have their chances, didn't they?
Mothersill had one just before half-time, didn't he, when he ran through?
Yeah.
And Allsop came out and narrowed his angle down. And I don't think he quite touchable, but he took him wide enough, and he ended up. He didn't even hit the side netting, did he? It was wide. But if he'd have got that right, he would have had an open goal. So that was the chance. But again, they kept they had chances in the second half, didn't they?
They did. A couple of good saves from Allsop, weren't it? Really, and especially again at it was to get same side of the pitch in the same half reversed. It was that their left, our right, weren't it?
Yeah.
Where they were getting a few little chances, especially when the balls were coming over quite far and wide. But yeah, I mean, a couple of call it squeaky bum moments, don't they? When you're coming towards the end of the game and oh no, they're getting balls in the box.
Well, as the clock was ticking down, obviously we were looking at the clock on the scoreboard because we knew that a win was promotion. Yeah. So and then you just see that I think Blues tried to manage it. We had some really good spells of possession as well, and we're doing our A's. Well, I don't really like doing our A's, but unless we got a 2-goal cushion, because you always got the chance of getting a bit of a sting on that. But we showed you the control we had of the game.
Absolutely.
And again, I think fair play to the players as well. They ran their socks off and they closed Peterborough down and didn't give them any space. And obviously, Chris Davis decided to make a few substitutions, and then our bench is ridiculous, wasn't it? So that was after about an hour.
Yeah.
He brought on Ethan Laird, Pake, and Keshi Anderson. And that replaced Samstead, Leonard and Taylor Gardner Hickman. And a little bit later, Jay Stansfield replaced Alfie May. So we had some extra energy. Top-class players came on, and we effectively saw the game out quite comfortably. We in the second half, we limited them to fewer chances in the second half than they had in the first half.
I think we need to be better on Sunday at neutralising that threat of their front four. But we will have a stronger team playing at Wembley, won't we? We did make 6 changes.
We made 6 changes.
There will be a slightly stronger team on Sunday. I do get that, but it's not a worry. But I think, with their pace and their speed, and a few Blues fans mentioned this at the game yesterday, Wembley's a big pitch, it's wide.
Yeah.
And when you do think about Poku, Mothersill, Ricky J. Jones and Adoa on a pitch the size of Wembley and the speed they have, I think we do need to get tighter to our men a little bit on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, in terms of improvements for Blues, because don't get me wrong, we played well, we controlled large parts of it, but if we are going to bring anything with us on Sundays, do not give those guys much space on the wings, because they can hurt you.
Yeah. I think we're just about to record actually a pre EFL Trophy final podcast. And that'll go out on Friday, and that's where we'll have these discussions about that. But you are right, and I think in fact actually, mate, it was sort of the game against Peterborough on Tuesday night gave us the opportunity to have a good look at them.
Yeah.
So we're all going to be have an idea about what players they're going to or can use, and obviously they'll bring on other players as well.
Yeah.
I think some Peterborough fans were saying that that they'll be a better team on the day. I'm sure they will, but
it's a cup final, isn't it?
Yeah, and what about? I've got that to look forward to, haven't we?
Exactly.
We've all got a cup final to go to on.
In fact,
on Sunday.
We got our tickets today. That I hope Blues fans, they said the club were trickling out tickets throughout the day. I hope you've been getting your tickets as the day goes. Obviously, this will be emailing. Yeah, it's all through email. Really easy. The email comes in. It just literally tap it to your Apple Wallet. Job done. Simple as that. So they have made it nice and easy, and I am buzzing for Sunday. I can't wait, Dad. But I mean, I'm just still excited. My adrenaline's still kicking, although it is running out. I need to go to bed soon. I am shattered. What a night. Great result. We are a championship side next season. Any final thoughts before we close the video?
Just we can't underestimate that we've done this with 6 games to go. It's not even Easter yet, and we are promoted. And this is all credit to the players and to Chris Davis and the support staff for what they've done. They've created a team a squad of players, not just a team, a squad of players that are committed, play as a team, play good football, and they've got us through a league that had the potential to be very, very tricky. Teams like Portsmouth, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, Sunderland, and others have got stuck in this division. Ipswich for a number of Derby, for Wolves, Coventry as well when they're coming up. So it's not an easy league to get out of. And we've done it first time of asking now. with respect to League One, I hope we never see it again. I don't think I will in my lifetime, but I don't know. But
I would laugh if we're down there next season.
No, you would not laugh. You'd cry.
I'll be replaying that clip over and over, Dad.
So will everybody else,
No.
reminding me. But
I totally joke,
but I
but
think
I-
Blues fans know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we've had the experience of League One and the way teams adapt their game to
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
and they don't let us play. They try to stop us, and it's not the best football to watch. And I know we've had critics about the way and Blues style of play at various parts of the season. We should be more aggressive. We should do this. We should be faster, etc. But that's partly because you're literally playing against the wall.
Exactly.
And that's no excuse. That's just a reality of the league that we are currently in and we are getting out of now. And I'm just looking forward to either teams coming out. I know we're going to be up against better players, better teams that are going to come at us, and I think that's going to be more exciting to watch.
Exactly.
We are going to concede more goals. We are going to lose more games in the Championship.
Of course we are.
But it's going to be better football to watch. Now, I've had a fantastic experience with some of the away games with grounds that we've never ever been to before, and I am thankful for the way that this allowed the club to completely reset. And but we now need to push forward, because you could argue that all we're doing is going back to where we were.
I get that.
So we haven't really moved forward as a club just yet. We have it from this season, but we were in the Championship last season. Now we're going back to it. Now this is where we really can kick on.
I'm not knocking what you're saying, because I do completely agree with you, Dad. But actually, I think if you go like for like, league for league, we are going back to restart to zero. But actually, we're coming back with a better squad, a better manager, a winning mentality. So actually, would you argue going down in some ways was the best thing that ever happened to the club? Because how many seasons are you going to get to go winning this amount of games? Chris Davies instilling that warrior spirit in the players. Wagner been able to invest money that you probably won't be able to invest in the Championship. And don't get me wrong, I still think we're going to see some incredible signings during this summer. But I actually think this has been a real good thing for Birmingham City Football Club.
Yeah, do I think it's good for the club? Yes, I do actually. You wouldn't choose, but it's only good because of the owner that we've got, or the owners. If we'd have gone down under the old ownership, we could be anywhere now. We definitely wouldn't be in this position.
No.
So yes, it's been really good for the way that the club have actually. Last season, and when we got relegated, people were talking about the reset. That's happened. We've got a brand new team, and I tell you, when we come back, we're going to surprise a lot of teams, because they're not going to understand, because obviously they haven't played us this season. They're not going to know how different we are compared to, until we play them, and compared to where we were. They might be used to the old Birmingham City of the Championship. They ain't going to get that. We're a new Birmingham City.
No.
We've got a new team, new squad. And we're much better than we were when we were in the Championship last time, and that's going to be shown, I think, in next season.
Because the last time teams played us, Dad, it could have been Eustace, Rooney, Rowett, Venus, Mowbray, and who was the under-21s coach who came in for a couple against Steve Spooner? We had 6 managers that year. Anyway, the fact is, teams aren't going to know what I say. Aren't hit them into that isn't an arrogant thing, but just our style of play is completely different.
Yeah.
And I think we will go up and be competitive. I'm not saying we're going to do back-to-back promotions or do the Ipswich model necessarily, but I think we will go up and we will be competitive.
I think that's what Blues fans would want.
Exactly.
The reality is we've struggled in the Championship for so many years before we got relegated. To go back into the Championship now, to be competitive and just not be in the mix in terms of the relegation is I think for the first season back in the Championship, Blues fans will settle for that, and hopefully maybe we could even do a playoff push. Who knows?
Who knows exactly?
Who knows? We don't know. But it's exciting times. I'm really pleased that we've done it. Well done to Birmingham City. Well done to Chris Davies and the team. Well done to the players. And Tom Wagner, thank you for giving the club back to the fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
We actually really feel now that it's our club again, and that's down to all the hard work that everyone's done. So thank you very, very much.
Don't think I can top that statement, Dad. Perfect way to end it, as always. But as always, Birmingham City supporters, we would love to hear from you. How excited and buzzing. Is your adrenaline still in? Do you need to go to bed? Did you get in late last night like me and Dad did? Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you, and we get around to all those comments when we can. And maybe you're a Peterborough supporter. Maybe you saw the pre-video. Maybe you've tuned in for the first time. Please let us know your thoughts. And are you looking forward to the game on Sunday at Wembley? Should be shaping up to be a good one. And if you like this video specifically, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and check us out on our social media channels. We have an X page, we have an Instagram page, and we're also over on Spotify, so you can listen or watch us over on that platform now as well. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and press that bell notification so you get notified every time we post a video. And myself and Dad will see you on the next one, all about Birmingham City.